Hello, everybody. I just want to take a moment to respond to something that's just been in the media of recent weeks, and of course, what happened today. So, Hillary Clinton has had this email scandal, and she recently had a press conference about a half hour to 40 minutes ago. And I just want to address some of these, address the controversy, address the just the whole thing, because I think the whole thing is silly, and is the media playing it up. Both sides of the media, the liberal and conservative side of the media. I mean, I watch MSNBC. That's not a surprise to my close friends, and they even have taken this and kind of ran with it, and have created this much more bigger controversy than I really think that there should be. So first, obviously, to address the to address the elephant in the room, yes, I'm a big Hillary Clinton supporter. Yes, I want her to run in 2016. Yes, I will vote for her in 2016. And so you've got to keep that in mind when I'm talking about this, because yes, there is inevitably some bias in what I am saying. But I think, I study political science in my schooling. I am educated politically on both sides of the issue. I can have an educated conversation of issues like these. And so I think that yes, there may be some bias in what I'm saying. I do, however, think I can approach it in an educated kind of way. So for those that don't know of the issue, um, it came out a few weeks ago that apparently Hillary Clinton had this private server that she used her private email account in her work as Secretary of State, and that they were held on this private server that was property of the Clintons, both her and President Bill Clinton, and that she hadn't turned over documents, that she hadn't turned over these emails that were on her personal email account. So we've waited. We finally had this press conference from Hillary Clinton today. And people, immediately after this press conference on MSNBC, which, as again, no surprise, is a liberal view of the media, they're just attacking her. That, the Clintons play by their own set of rules, and that she wasn't forthcoming, and I just want to say, a little bit, and yes, this is my opinion, and I may be wrong on the issue, and so I hope that this video can kind of create a conversation, because I would love to hear what people are saying about this particular issue. So let's just start off with the press conference and kind of go from there, and hopefully it won't take too long, and we'll just see where this goes. So she said in her press conference that the reason why she used her personal account and not use her .gov's at state.gov email was because she didn't want to carry around two devices, and wanted conveniency. Wanted it to be convenient to have one account, one device for her both private and professional correspondence. Okay? So yes, obviously there's this argument that a device can hold multiple email accounts, and that you can use one device on multiple accounts, or multiple accounts on one device, I should say. And that is true, yes. But there's this precedent set in the State Department that no other Secretary of States has used their .gov account. Okay? The State Department itself came out just last week and said that Secretary John Kerry, who is the current Secretary of State, is the first Secretary of State to do most of his work primarily on his .gov account. So why does Hillary Clinton have to follow this? I just don't understand why it's an issue. Why she has to use her .gov account when she chooses to use her personal account, when the precedent is already set that the personal accounts is a fine and okay system to do correspondence for your work at the State Department. And with that, the rules and regulations which she is abiding by as Secretary of State permitted her to use her personal account. There was no rules or regulations on the books that prevented her from using her personal account. So, again, why is it such a big deal that she used her personal account? Okay? She had said in her press conference, and obviously I'm just a normal citizen, so I don't know how, I believe her at her word when she says this. I don't know 100% whether this is true or not, but apparently she said to follow the regulations of the requirements of turning documents over to the State Department for public records and records sake, that she would email, when she sent out emails to work-related people and work-related stuff, she would send them to .gov accounts so that they were immediately saved on the server as they were immediately kept for records. Okay, sounds reasonable. People are saying, why, there's got to be business that she didn't send to .gov accounts. You don't know that, all right? This notion that Hillary Clinton doesn't have to abide by rules because she's sending emails to .gov accounts, but she can't use a .gov account to herself is ludicrous. Again, there's this precedent that Secretary of States do not use their .gov accounts. Okay, why are you not saying this about Condoleezza Rice or others other Secretary of States that were part of the Bush administration? None of this was said about them. None of this has been said about any cabinet level positions on Bush or Obama administration since they've left office. Okay, so then we get to then we get to she was asked to release documents by the State Department, and what she said today in her press conference was the State Department contacted former Secretary of States, plural Secretary of States, to look through their private accounts and release documents to the State Department if they believed it was work related. So that's what she did. And today in her press conference, she gave some numbers, and I want to look at them. She said there was about 60,000 different emails that were on her private account. Okay, about half, which is 30,000, were flagged as work related. What she did was she released 55,000 different emails that possibly could relate to her work in the State Department. So she released 25,000 more emails than she had initially flagged as already work related. So she has turned over a lot of documents. They are in the State Department's hands as we speak, being looked at, being filed as, yes, this is work of the State Department. No, this is not. Yes, this is. No, this isn't. And then she is asked that once that has been done, and those emails that have been flagged as work related, she's asked the State Department to release them for the public to see. I just don't understand why that is not okay. Why that creates this controversy. Then, lastly, there's this issue of the private server, and she addressed this in the press conference. She didn't answer the question of having a third-party independent arbitrator go through her emails, and this has been widely proposed by the Republican Party. Has been asked about on MSNBC. Why don't you just let a third-party arbitrator go through your records and make sure that you did everything correct, that you sent these emails to the State Department, those that you didn't send are completely personal, nothing work-related, and that's fine. She addressed some of that in her press conference today. It's because she just doesn't want those private emails out in the public. You know, those emails that she mentioned that deal with her daughter's wedding or her mother's funeral or condolences or yoga. You know, as a private citizen, I don't care about what she does in yoga class or the plans that she put together for her daughter's wedding or her mother's funeral. That doesn't interest me. And it's privacy. For those who are going to watch this, I want to ask you the question. Would you want government officials going through your private email accounts and making them public? I certainly wouldn't. What I'm writing to my professors on a school level or working at, emailing on my private account to my parents or family members or friends, that's between me and them, not me, them, and the world. Yes, Hillary Clinton is the Democratic nominee frontrunner. Yes, she hasn't declared her candidacy, but we all want and beg her, well, those that support her want her, and we know that she's going to get in the race at some point. But why does she get treated so differently in the media? And why does she not get the same respect as any other candidate? Yes, she was a first lady, a senator, a secretary of state. She's been in the public eye. But all candidates get the same respect. And she doesn't. She's always scrutinized, always in the public eye. And people want her to just release her life. Is that fair? One last thing. People have been saying, oh, Jeb Bush released all his emails when he was governor of Florida. He wrote a book about strictly all about his emails. Got in front of his emails. Why does Hillary Clinton not do the same? That was a personal choice by Jeb Bush to get in front, to release all his emails, both private and professionally. Hillary Clinton doesn't want to release her personal emails. Why is that such a hard thing to get over? Why do you, as the media, want her yoga emails or her daughter's wedding emails? Yes, Jeb released his emails, but that was a private choice that he decided to do because he thought it might help as a registered candidate. Okay? Yes, Hillary Clinton is the front runner. Hillary Clinton is the perceived nominee for the Democratic Party. It's almost inevitable that she is going to get in and run. But she hasn't declared yet. So, the fact of the matter is, the process of releasing tax documents, personal records, all of that a typical presidential candidate goes through, she doesn't need to go through that right now because she's not a candidate. She's a former Secretary of State who has submitted her documentation to the State Department and has asked the State Department to release them publicly after they are done. I could be wrong about this. I could be way off base. But I think the media is taking this and turning an anthill into a mountain just because they want to talk about Hillary Clinton and they perceive Hillary Clinton as a candidate for president for 2016. Yes, she is in the media a lot. Yes, there is question whether she is going to run, and people have already perceived her as running. But why do the media consistently offer this kind of bait in baiting her to release things and turn this into a controversy when it's about emails and what she sent in the email to X, Y, and Z? You know, there was a question about whether a male colleague, a male counterpart, if Hillary Clinton was a male, would this be a problem? And I don't like to speculate on those things, and I don't like, I'm a full equal person. I think there should be equal pay for equal work, and I'm all about women's rights and equal rights. And I don't like speculating on this thing, but I think that's a question we ought to ask ourselves, is would we be questioning Hillary Clinton the way we are if she was a male candidate for president, or a perceived candidate for president? Something to keep in the back of our heads. Lastly, I think that we are dealing with a topic that is difficult and hard because we do live in a media-driven era with technology. We are moving more and more into emails being used, social media being used on a day-to-day level that we didn't have, say, 20 years ago. And so I think it's important to remember that we are going through this, and laws still need to catch up with email and internet and technology. And so do our public officials. I'm sorry for the length of this video, but I think that it is an important conversation that we have. As any of these candidates begin to declare their candidacy and declare their campaigns and who we want as our next president in 2016. And I just think that it's a conversation we also should have about our media and what the role of the media is as we conduct interviews with our public officials, whether it be a candidate for president or another cabinet level position like the Secretary of State. in the executive branch. I'm going to be posting this on Facebook and my YouTube page. I would love to have thoughts. I would love to have your feedback and thoughts on this issue, because I think that it's a great conversation we should be having. And as I said throughout the video, I might be dead wrong about this subject. I might be just blatantly covered and biased because I support Hillary Clinton. But I could be offering food for thought, and I hope that's what I'm doing through this conversation and through this video. So I would love to hear your thoughts, and who knows, if I get good feedback, I might do this more often. Alright, thank you guys.